Now, the political suspense continues in Tamil Nadu. C. Joseph Vijay and his TVK party are still racing to gather enough numbers to secure an invite from the governor. It has secured the support of Congress and the left, but still remains too short of the magic figure of 118. It has claimed the support of the lone MLA-elect belonging to the AMMK, but its party chief has denied it and accused TVK of forging a letter of support. AMMK General Secretary TTV Dinakaran has even filed a police complaint against TVK. Earlier, Dinakaran rushed to governor's house in an attempt to correct the record. However, TVK refuted the forged letter claim and shared a video claiming that it showed AMMK MLA Kamaraj voluntarily and happily writing a letter expressing his support. Meanwhile, another potential ally, Indian Union Muslim League, has released a letter saying it was not part of the TVK-led alliance.
If it is true, let TVK chief Vijay surrender the video and the original letter to the governor. Giving a forged letter? What is this? They thought it was a single MLA. After giving the letter, they could threaten him and get his support. It is destiny of Tamil Nadu that if TVK come to power, the state will face a lot of problems. I've made a complaint to the governor and the police.
That a letter is being circulated in the WhatsApp alleging that I have...
Now, TVK, which won 108 seats in the polls, has an effective strength of 107 in the assembly as its leader, Vijay, won 2 seats. So far, the CPIM, which has 2 seats each, and Congress, with 5 seats, have already extended its support. Now, confusion remains over the support of another smaller party, VCK, which has 2 seats. A social post claimed that the VCK would make an official announcement Saturday morning, but the post has since been deleted. VCK President Thor Thirumavelan held a meeting with the party's senior leaders on the issue of support to TVK. He is expected to announce the decision shortly. Earlier, TVK chief Vijay again met Governor Ranjendra Vishwanath at his residence in Chennai on Friday. He state claimed to form a government for the 3rd day in a row, but the governor is yet to invite him to form a government, indicating that he still has not been able to prove his numbers. Now, amidst all of this, AMMK chief DTV Dinakaran has accused TVK chief Vijay of sharing a forged copy of one of his MLA's letter with the governor. And to give us more details, our principal correspondent Siddharth MP is now joining us from outside the VCK office in Chennai. Siddharth, thank you so much for joining us. If you could just give us a brief of what's happening outside, because what we knew was there's a meeting going on, of course, to clarify on the support TVK, and the one we talked about it last time we had you on air. There seems to be this meeting still going on. What's the environment like?
So VCK's chief is expected here, but the problem here is that the crowds have been swelling since morning, and there's been no news about his impending arrival. So it was said that he would initially arrive at 10 o'clock. It was later said it will be around 11. Then here we are at around 1, and still there's no news on his arrival. So his arrival is crucial because the party has to formally announce their support to the TVK, and only then the government can be formed. So without those numbers, things don't materialize for Vijay and his party. So here now the latest thing that we're getting to pick up is that he's expected around 2 or 2:30, VCK chief Thirumavelan. So we'll have to wait to understand what is the stance of their party. And of course, negotiations are also set to be underway because the party, given how their 2 seats are significant for government formation, and given that the left parties have only supported from outside, it's given to understand that this party, VCK, is looking to exact their pound of flesh, be it a deputy CM post or ministerial berths. So the negotiations over these kind of issues continue to hog more of the time, and this also drags on the uncertainty because we were initially expecting that by this afternoon we would know the entire outcome, but the delay is kind of concerning as to whether there is a deadlock. And that uncertainty continues because this party was having a meeting yesterday, and then this morning they were expected to come clean with what is their final decision. So this delay clearly indicates that there are more talks underway and negotiations have not reached their conclusive phase.
Right, Siddharth. And that being said, of course, it's been delayed a lot because Monday was when the result came out and you had told us about it too. Let's say if the talks don't happen today, how long are we waiting to see what the result is going to be look like? And if you don't see any support for VCK, what happens? What are the different outcomes that can happen once we do not get any concrete result or decision from VCK?
See, TVK having gotten so close to the magic number of 118 indicates that they will do all that they can to get allies on board and cross that magic number. But some of the concerns that have risen are the allegations by AMMK chief TTV Dinakaran, who's gone on to make allegations of forging letters by the TVK. So if these kind of allegations are probed and if some wrongdoing is found, then certainly that could pose legal challenges for Vijay and TVK. So these are some of the issues that we should look at. And as for the delay, Vijay's party certainly would not want to drag it on further because, as you pointed out, it's been almost a week since the results are out, and even now Tamil Nadu does not have political uncertainty about the future, about who's going to form the government. So such kind of issues persisting is certainly concerning, and I'm sure TVK has this factor in mind because they've been given a fractured mandate. But the fact is that they've been given a mandate that's significantly more than what the second and third largest parties have received. So it is imperative that the TVK sort of work this out with their allies and then negotiate so that they can form the government as soon as possible. Otherwise, yes, the situation would continue in this deadlock and the governor would have to take a call on further. But we'll have to wait to see this weekend itself if we can get some relief or if this saga is expected to drag on to the second week.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Of course, it's a waiting game, not just for us, but also, of course, for the TVK. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, Siddharth. Value your insights. We'll get back to you as and when we get more details.